record, I'm built just like Tonga guy. Just like him.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty swole myself.
All right, guys, let's take it down at least 10 notches right now.
Pretty swole myself. I'm just gonna point out I'm in good shape. I do yoga. I just don't lather myself up with grease, and I'm not from Tonga.
I think you might be missing out.
There's a much deeper
Crisco and all that he had on
yeah, he did. He definitely did some buys and tries and chest and back before going out there, didn't he? Yeah, okay, now good. Let's go. He's like,
where's the grease?
The day after. What's the NBA saying about the Cavs?
People think, look, you can't help but be impressed with what they did. Whether you love the moves or you just think they're pretty good moves, the fact that they had a locker room falling apart, the fact that they basically were acknowledging, okay, we made some mistakes this summer, but they corrected them. That was what a lot of people texted me. They corrected them right away. People were impressed by that, and it showed LeBron James that, look, this front office can get things done because you're dealing with a rookie GM, Kobe Altman, but he showed that he could make moves and get things done, and that bodes well for them going forward. Will it keep LeBron there? I don't know, but it at least shows him, okay, this is a competent front office that can make things happen.
My wife and I, we've moved a bunch. I said yesterday, my kids, they've lived in 7 different homes, and my girls are 11 years old. We like there's something new to it. Like at some point, you do want to have roots.
Even in the same city, you move around.
I've actually moved 6 houses down the street.
Wow.
When I was up at the place we both used to work at, I was in a neighborhood with a bunch of our friends that we work with. Yeah, it was the house down the street that I really wanted. Dead of winter, we're like, hey, you're selling your house. Like, if we moved ours, we moved it. And we did it. And you know what? Great house. Still love it. Still my favorite house we ever lived in.
Because I've moved a lot as a kid, but never, it was always to a different city.
Yeah, we've moved across town. We've done all that stuff. My point is that sometimes new is good. New is refreshing, right? Feels like, is LeBron that type of guy? Does this refresh? Because Dwayne Wade was his best friend in basketball. Yeah. And he was traded for a bag of hockey pucks, right? And I know that there's a backstory to Dwayne Wade and Pat Riley hugging at the funeral of Wade's agent, and that's kind of how they made up and made amends. But still, you're getting rid of some big names out of that locker room and trusting some younger players that are unproven in the waters of the playoffs. What are his feelings about the newness of this locker room?
Is he jumping for joy? No, because we still, as much as people that like the trade, including myself, are saying this makes them better, we're saying it makes them the favorite in the East. Nobody's saying this puts them on the level with Golden State. So LeBron is all about a championship. But I'm told he does think they did a good job. Look, the locker room was in bad shape, as you know.
Right.
And they got rid of that. That is what was dragging LeBron James down. He was dispirited. You saw he wasn't playing very well. And it was because the energy in the locker room was horrible. That was a big part of it. Now, with these young guys, it's better. And I don't know if you like the trade as much as I do. I do think there's a lot of basketball advantages to what they did. I mean, their defense, yeah, some of it was effort, but a lot of it was they're old, they're slow, they're not good defenders.
Sure.
And now you brought in young, athletic guys who maybe haven't been great defenders, but could be, or at least could be very good defenders in the right system if they put their minds to it. And I think LeBron James there, I think the knowledge that they are going to be on the big stage. How many of these guys, Rodney Hood, Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance, they haven't really had a chance to showcase themselves, on a big stage. I mean, a guy like Rodney Hood, who's averaged 16, 17 points a game in Utah where nobody notices, he's going to relish being in the playoffs, actually having a chance to shine. And so I think that they help themselves basketball-wise in addition to the locker room, and LeBron understands that.
Here's the biggest thing, though, I struggle with basketball-wise, Chris, is the magic to what Kyrie brought to them was a second guy who could create a shot, right? NBA basketball, and this may be way too simplistic, but there's 2 different schools of thought, right? The first school of thought is, ball movement, pace and space. Yeah. Move it side to side, make the defense move, attack the mismatch. LeBron can't play that way. Okay? That's not how he plays. Yeah. He plays the other one, which is get the ball to the best guys, and space out. And then when you have a Kyrie, when you have a LeBron, when you have a Durant, when you have a Russell Westbrook, you have to help. You can't guard him with one guy, and that help defense, spacing everybody around, ends up creating shots for other people. That's how they have to play. My issue is they didn't acquire anybody who can create his own shot. That's not – George Hill's a very good shooter. He'll play well off of LeBron, but you can't give it to George Hill and say, go get us a bucket. Right? Rodney Hood is, an up and down shooter, but you're not going to give the ball to Rodney Hood and say, go get us a bucket. Jordan Clarkson can go get a bucket, but if he plays, that means George Hill doesn't play. He's like a bigger Isaiah Thomas, if you will, right? He's Vinny Johnson. Come in, try and score. If not, he's not. They don't really have a starting caliber Kyrie or Kyrie Light on this team, and so it's going to change the dynamic when they do get to the playoffs.
They would be better. There's no question if Kyrie had just stayed. Or if they just hadn't traded him. No doubt about it, because all these players don't equal Kyrie Irving. He's a superstar. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Okay, so no question about that. But to your point, they brought in role players, and as you know, it's easier to fit in role players than stars. If they had brought in a ball-dominant guy who's used to being the first option on his team, it would have taken a lot longer for that guy to get used to playing with LeBron James.
Fair point.
We saw it with D-Wade. George Hill, his best seasons were in Indiana when Lance Stevenson was the playmaker, and in Utah when Gordon Hayward ran a lot of the offense ran through him, or Joe Johnson even. So I think Hill, look, he can defend, he can spot up and hit the three. He's not going to be a playmaker, so he won't get in LeBron's way. What you said, LeBron will have to create virtually everything. But he's been playing that way for a long time. You're right. He doesn't have that Wade, that Kyrie, but I think he's got enough to win the East. And sadly, that's all we're talking about.
We'll see. I think we are diminishing a little bit the Celtics, what they have, what they could potentially have if Gordon Hayward returns. Well, let's do this.
Now, the Celtics are 18-12 over the last 2 months.
Yep.
That's 49 win pace.
Look, like the Wizards who lost to the Celtics last night, they're another team
and
that people
should have won that game.
Should have won that game. They're actually playing better without John Wall. How does that work itself out? But those are two of the maybe 3-4 teams. The Bucks. The big thing to me is you still have some older. LeBron James last year he only had to go through 13 games. How many would he have to get to the finals this year? Let's do this.
14.
Stay with us. Coming up, 14. I'll take the over. Coming up next, going to hang with us. So will Rachel Bonnetta, of course. She's here the entire show. I'm Doug Gottlieb filling in for Colin. What did yesterday mean for LeBron's potential future with the Lakers? Plus what Laker fans did to Paul George last night. That's next on The Herd. But first, now that the New Year's madness is over, it's time to work on your story for 2018. LegalZoom can help you make this year you finally get serious about launching and running your own business. Colin has his own business. I have my own business. LegalZoom, remember, is not a law firm, but they have the resources to keep you on the right path, including advice from their national network of independent attorneys all at your fingertips.